submarine has been recovered in Alang, India. While our national property is being defiled, our most secret weapon systems are being looted. This is an emergency. Naval infantry will deploy immediately, and with them you must prevent the Americans from establishing a presence. This effort will not come easily. Flight 12. They've secured all of Alpha Sector. Staging attack on Echo 1.
Stop the US forces from conquering every sector.
US forces now control Charlie Sector.
Actually, cancel that. Get hike.
Stop the US forces from conquering every sector.
Let's go.
The enemy has captured Delta Sector.
Disregard that order.
Fire! Still alive!
Got a fucking ways to go. Move it. Get away from me. Reloading.
Status report.
Hostiles move fast to seize objectives. We're running behind.
Disregard that order. Hostile helo located. 230 degrees. 60 meters from my position.
Echo 1 secure. Troops on site.
We're taking too many casualties. They've taken Bravo sector.
Get back! I need help here! Please! Stay back!
Our forces have captured an objective.
Never mind. Med supply! Got it! Never mind.
We've been routed. Bravo sector is under U.S. control.
Stop the US forces from conquering every sector.
Our forces have taken all of Alpha sector.
Stay away!
We control most sectors on the battle.
Врача! Врача! Я не хочу умирать здесь!
We have captured all of Charlie sector.
Помогите, меня ранили!
Almost all sectors are under our control. They're beginning to take a toll. Keep fighting.
Keep back! Come over here!
Hostiles have captured Alpha sector. objectives is no longer secure.
Stop the US forces from conquering every sector. Staging attack on Echo 1.
We're in full command of Delta
Stay
Sector.
away! Don't help me!
One of our objectives is under attack.
Med supplies, pick it up.
Our full strength is down to
Enemy
50%. All of Charlie Sector is in enemy hands.
Scratch that.
Stop the US forces from conquering every sector.
Disregard that order. Actually, cancel that. One down. You're welcome. Supplies are all yours. Just a second. Up we go. Med supplies, use them.
Occupation of Bravo Sector complete.
We control most sectors on the battlefield.
Hostiles assaulting Delta 1.
Disregard that order.
We have complete control of Echo Sector. We're at half strength. Proceed according to plan.
Oh shit! Mother Nature's bringing the heat!
Ни за что.
Hostiles invading one of our objectives.
Disregard that order. I need some ammo. I need more ammo.
Меня ранили! Помогите!
U.S. troops assaulting one of our objectives.
Don't like the looks of that storm.
Echo sector is under our control.
Stay back! Don't come close!
Our forces have lost objective Delta 2.
Stop the U.S. forces from conquering every sector.
Actually, cancel that.
Alpha sector secure.
Сюда! Помогите!
Well done. We have secured almost every sector.
Delta 2 assaulted by U.S. forces.
Stay back!
U.S. forces control Alpha sector.
That storm looks like a killer.
Grenade! Reloading now. Reloading!
Got casualties!
They have secured Echo sector.
Actually, cancel that. Found their ass! 10! 200! 200 degrees, 130 meters.
Hostiles invading one of our
Main
objectives.
supplies, over here! Cancel that. Hold on! Need ammo!
U.S. troops assaulting one of our objectives. U.S. forces have a clear advantage. They hold too many sectors.
Do not come to me!
We have lost control over objective.
They've occupied Charlie sector.
Stop the U.S. forces from conquering every sector.
Tango down! Tango down!
We're low on resources. Win this now! Attempting to capture Delta 1. Echo sector is now secure.
Reloading! Hold on! Keep away from me!
All troops fall back. We've lost the battle. I won't lose you.
Spectacular. A good day's work, but I'm not one to brag.
Sometimes they just line up for you.
Come on, let's roll. cause some trouble, am I right?
American forces are preparing to strike at our Antarctic oil production facility. They claim it violates international law, but they only want the oil for themselves. You must prevent the Americans from gaining a foothold. This operation is vital to the well-being of the Russian people. Your assistance will be remembered and rewarded.
They are assaulting Alpha Freight. Objective secure.
U.S. forces have captured Foxtrot sector.
Stop the U.S. forces from conquering every sector.
Time to reload.
Hostiles control all of Echo sector. One of our objectives is under attack. Our forces now hold Bravo sector.
Friendly down! Friendly down!
Cancel that. Friendly down! Hurt bad! Up, up, up! Medic!
Stop the U.S. forces from conquering every sector.
Now attacking Delta 1.
Help! I need help here, please!
Initiating assault on Delta 1.
What's the status of our forces?
US forces have moved swiftly to claim the objectives.
Val,
Hey,
it's not the pre-alpha anymore. It's the beta.
it's the pre-alpha.
No, it's not the pre-alpha. It's the beta. You want to know why?
Cause
The beta on Friday. Come on.
Say what?
I said the beta released on Friday. Didn't you know that?
Oh yeah. Brother,
Yeah.
I will modify it.
Lost control
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
one
You're gonna modify that. How else am I gonna watch? I can't watch things while it's titled.
They've occupied Charlie sector.
I'm still trying to figure out my stream. Okay, so one issue I was having was so I was able to get my stream running through window mode or display mode or something, but it only showed the corner of my screen and didn't do a full window capture.
First you have to like run the game.
Uh-huh.
Then you choose the. Let me show you something.
Here, let me hop on my PC.
I'm gonna.
I'll show you. Actually, no. I'm gonna go to bed. I'm laying in bed right now. I don't feel like getting.
Alright, let me. Alright,
But yeah,
let me tell you
please
something.
explain it. Yeah.
In the source, you put
Mhm.
the capture specific window mode, and the window
Okay.
choose the Battlefield 2042 XE.
Okay.
Not EXE,
So-
yeah.
To that, I tried. Okay, so to that,
Hold all
when I
Delta
hit my screen and I flicked it back, there's no sound or something coming from it. So then, and the screen bounds were weird. So I selected fit to screen, got rid of all the notifications and all the shit like that, just to leave it bare. And it fit the screen until I tabbed in game and actually started playing, and then it got shoved in the corner. So I did what you
It's
I did what
minimized in
you
the
did.
corner, or it shows like a.
No, it's
Just a
almost like
part
it's
of the-
maximized. Like it's like magnifying super big on the corner of my screen.
We should troubleshoot this, but you must be on a computer, 'cause,
Yeah. I'll
like you share the screen so I can see what's happening exactly.
yeah, I might try and wake up early in the morning my time, and it'll be a somewhat probably reasonable time for you
Yeah.
before you go to bed. So
Yeah, maybe
let's do it.
in about 8 hours I'll be on. So
Yeah.
Time sleep.
Yeah. I'll probably be up in 6, knowing me.
This early? This Sunday?
Yeah. My whole family will wake me up no matter what. So yeah, screaming in the background doesn't help.
Alright.
How speak it?
It's like
fucking-
they're doing it on purpose, huh?
Almost. It's almost like they're doing it on purpose. I swear. So right now I'm in a living room right now because I've been in college, and every morning some shit just wakes me up, and I'm like, God fucking damn it! Now I gotta be up for the day.
You need
It's like instead of sleeping to my alarm, I gotta hear some bullshit.
Yeah, I don't know which is better, waking up from the alarm or
I know, right? It's almost like they're my own personal alarm clock.
yeah.
It's at the same time. It's at 7:30 every morning. I gotta go into work at fucking 11 o'clock, but no, I don't get the satisfaction of waking up at 9 o'clock. I get the satisfaction of waking up an hour and a half early.
Yeah, but it's better like this. You have time to take a dump,
Uh,
take a shower.
I typically, well,
Have
here's the
breakfast.
issue. I try and fall asleep at a later time so I can play with you guys and shit.
Yeah, I know.
You know, and I'm not a morning person. I don't typically do things in the morning. You know, I take my shower at 10 in the morning or at nighttime. But yeah. Anyways, I'll see you in a bit, man.
All right. All right.
And hours.
All right.
All right, man. Peace out.
We have captured all of
Yep.
Foxtrot sector.
That turret just loaded.
Destroying the reinforcements. In progress.
Stay away!
Bravo sector has been seized by hostiles. Our forces are down to half strength.
Stop the US forces from conquering every sector.
Here! Mental blood! I'm on it! Got one! Tango down! Reloading! Cover me!
We have secured Charlie sector.
Target down! I'm out! Reloading!
Сейчас от меня мало толку! Ранили союзника! Сильно бьют! Мы теряем людей!
Stay back!
US forces have captured Foxtrot sector.
Setting up the parameter!
Stop the US forces from conquering every sector.
I'm reloading! Here we go! Gotta reload! Cover me!
Delta sector has been seized by hostiles.
Stop the US forces from conquering every sector.
Keep away from me!
Hey, Grip.
Morning.
Morning.
Yeah, what up?
Playing?
Okay. I'll jump in with you.
Yeah. Feel
Yeah, I
free.
just got off. It was my short night tonight, so I got off at 3 a.m.
Try and get some rest. They don't want to rest.
We believe they have expanded.
I can't really do that because if I go to sleep now, I'll wake up at like 10 or 9, and then I won't be able to sleep for like ever. So tomorrow will just be worse. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's in my best interest if I stay up and honestly play video games.
Cool.
Because I already did the dishes. So yes, here you go. Here's some food. Yes, there you go. There you go. There's food.
The match is almost over. So.
Ah, no worries. I'm pouring the whiskey because I'm home. You don't really drink, do you?
No. Nothing
Not at all, or just
Not at all.
nothing at all?
No.
Is that by choice, or is that like a religious thing?
No, it's by choice.
Or? Okay, no worries. No, I'm not judging. It was just
Why would you?
I was just curious. Well, because a lot of Americans are fucking pricks, man. I'm just gonna say that right now.
Oh, we have our bricks here. I mean,
There's a lot of Americans
I have
who
my dad
look at it like,
We are in control of Bravo.
who
Center.
drinks
Oh, your
wine
dad?
instead of water.
well,
So
that's on it. That might be. Is that a cultural thing, or is that just a him thing?
it's a it's a him thing.
Okay. Well, I mean,
Like many others.
there's a lot of French people who drink a ton of wine.
Well, listen. Here, my dad lives in the countryside. He makes his own wine. He has his vineyard.
Oh, that's
So
cool.
he has resources. I mean, it's a bad habit. That's what it is. It's not
Yeah,
like in France where they have they open a 20 years old bottle of wine or something like this.
yeah. My mother was an alcoholic. She literally drank herself to death.
I'm afraid that's gonna happen with my dad.
Sorry to hear that. It's really rough.
And beside wine, there's also
Begin
drinks
evacuating
beer.
Nomad forces. No use staying
And
now.
we have something like you call moonshine.
Mm-hmm.
I told you to keep
So
up.
he drinks everything he
Enjoy these moments when they
grabs on.
Yeah, Angel does it again.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know you could do that. Okay.
To what?
In this, like, co-op stuff, you can change things.
All right. So you wanna hop in? Squad up or?
Are you done? Are you done with the
Yeah,
round?
I finished.
Oh, yeah, of course. What do you want to do?
Play something.
Let's get moving.
I'm in.
Oh, did I just send it to you again?
No, I'm in.
Okay. Well, okay. What do you want to play?
I don't know. Conquest. What else?
Back here. Oh, there's Portal.
You wanna play Portal? Let's play Portal.
I don't care. Conquest sounds great. In 3,
There's-
2, 1, here we go.
Oh. Portal is more playable, but
Like I enjoy the Battlefield 3. I just got to get used to it
Yeah,
because
me
it's a
too.
different it's a different format than the 2042. So like and you die different, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's still great, don't get me wrong. I freaking love it. But I really miss the M16A3 playing Portal on Battlefield 3 or playing Battlefield 3 Portal. Blah. I miss that M16 so much.
yeah, this one is different. It sounds different, like you're shooting from a can.
Yeah. But technically I'm drinking apple juice right now with a little bit of whiskey in it. Nothing too crazy.
Cool. There's nothing wrong with having a small drink,
We do this smart.
but when
I have occasion gotten out of hand. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah, me too. I had my
The Russians have been drilling
I had
Anthracite
my
oil for a decade.
things in
Today, we cut the supply.
years ago,
You will work
when-
with other task forces to bring the facility under U.S. control.
like
Russian
when I
troops
was
are on
a
site,
teenager
so expect heavy resistance.
in early 20s.
Get your gear sorted.
Oh, somebody got
Transport is
all the
Vehicles,
vehicles are already gone.
Yeah, I'll just
I was gonna get it. I was totally gonna get a jet. Am I locked into? Ooh, I'm in a Condor. Cool.
Allies engaging on Foxtrot 1.
I'm getting off of Condor on one. No, I'm getting off with Condor. So, I don't know how is this map designed, because F1, I mean, is right
Objective captured.
near our spawn or something. And Echo 1, what the hell is this?
I don't know. It's a weird kind of map.
I think it's fully designed.
Foxtrot 2 is being secured by our forces.
All Foxtrot objectives under our control. Sector secured. Our forces control most sectors.
Well, fuck it. I'm gonna go for.
I'm gonna play as a sniper, because every time I go in a crowded area, my frame rate just
Sector Bravo has fallen to
stops
hostiles.
living. Just gives up. I ran about 3
What the
kilometers.
fuck? A hovercraft just killed me like instantly. There's like weird sound effects going on. What's the latency there?
Is the game?
Okay, that's why.
Is the
No,
game
I'm at
become-
100 ping. What's your ping?
I don't know. Where can I see it?
Sector Charlie is under our
Hit
control.
tab in the top right. Hold,
Hostile
press
forces
and hold
in
tab in
Charlie
the top right.
Oh. Let me hide.
It's the scoreboard screen in
Yeah,
the top right.
yeah. Let me hide the overlay, because I have an overlay on. It's 57. Oh,
Awesome.
so yeah, it's I think it's European server,
Yeah, that's fine.
but I joined you. I don't know. It's better than when
Wow.
when I join a North American server, I get like 180 ping.
Sector Alpha.
God damn.
I just ran since the game started.
Med supplies. You're welcome.
Hostiles are trying to seize one of our
Fast
objectives.
chip
Well,
up.
I mean, I'm only getting. I think I'm only using up to like 30% of my CPU, so that's good. Oh wow, we just lost. We just lost B2. Alright, I'm gonna go to A1.
My
Taking
my
control
CPU
of Sector
is
Bravo.
down at 100% load, 99.98. My GPU is just 30 to 50, and it jumps to 70 when mainly because I'm streaming also. So the game is shit.
Report. Task force is running smoothly, sir. They're holding objectives.
Come to me.
Oh man.
We just lost control of an objective.
Putting up defenses.
So you cannot put Irish
Allies engaging in
shield
Charlie 1.
on a slope. You need a like a horizontal surface.
Our troops have captured Sector Charlie. Our forces control most sectors.
Wow. I'm getting like insta-killed. That's horrible. Oh well. Not complaining, just talking. You
I
should
know.
be able to.
I'm getting the same things. Right. The game is in a bad condition now.
Well, either way, I was gonna get mowed down on that one.
Allied forces now holding Sector Delta. Troop by troop, they're paying a price. Keep it up.
Hi.
Hey, Lizard.
I shouldn't be awake right now.
Yeah, you
But
should.
I am.
Alright, well, back to the found town, burn out the brown. Highway to the danger zone. Gonna take it right into the danger zone.
Did that whiskey kick it in?
No, I'm in a jet, so of course I'll be singing Highway to the Danger Zone.
Alright.
What time is it for you guys?
4:30 a.m.
Did you just wake up or you been up all night?
I've been up all night because I just got off work at 3.
Oh.
Fuck this bullshit.
Got off at I had an
Our
early
resources
day,
and
so I
troop
got off
strength
at
are
3.
down.
Wow. I I just had a wildcat shove something up my ass. That's not cool.
You love having fun with Wildcats.
We got wounded!
Shit. What the hell was...
Getting hot! I need help!
There you go.
I'm bleeding! Damn it! We're dead!
Hostiles attacking objective Charlie 1.
We've taken control of Sector Bravo.
Danger near me! Do not try to assist! I need help!
Charlie 1 lost. We're no longer in control.
Stay away! Keep back!
Man,
We've taken Sector Charlie. Our troops are engaging at Charlie 1.
where you at there, buddy, old pal?
I'm at
Oh,
D1.
we just-
Told you I
You
start.
want a gun?
I
You want a gun for me?
What gun?
Oh no, I got another guy in here.
Alright.
One of our objectives is under attack.
I don't want a medic!
Hostiles are trying to seize one of our objectives. We've shaken them up. Best guess, we're halfway home. We've taken that objective.
Disregard them! Secure that objective!
We've lost control of an objective. Sector Foxtrot is now under Allied control. Hostiles attacking objective Alpha 3.
I need help!
Keep away from me!
So what are your hours for evening?
7 to 7, but today was my short day, so I got off at 3.
So what time do you usually sleep?
I'll be going to bed here, probably about an hour, hour and a half.
Gotcha. So
I gotta
you're
stay-
So you're Central.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So but next week I go to days, so I have one more night shift, and then I'm on days for 2 months.
Right. What do you do, like security or something, or?
Police officer.
Just lost
Oh,
an
gotcha.
objective.
That's right. Okay.
They captured
I
Sector
think we've
Alpha.
talked about this before. Well, not you and I, but like as a group.
Yeah. I also work. I got started doing secondary employment, which is armed security work, and that pays over
Right.
double what I make as a police officer. So-
Gotcha.
But you have to be a police officer to do this work.
Gotcha.
So-
Yeah,
Stay away! Keep back!
you mind if I ask you a couple questions? Like,
Sure. Anytime.
yeah, man. Since it's easily accessible, so it's yeah, like first of all, were you in the service before?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. Do you feel like, because I was in the service as well, do you feel that being in the service helps benefit trying to push into a career field like that? Because they say it does,
honestly, I do.
but it's like,
I
No.
do, because you have a level of discipline, whatever branch you're in.
right,
You have a level of discipline that's been instilled in you, like
Objective lost. We need to retake
it just makes it easier, like like that instant obedience to orders, like
Right.
you know, your field training officer is like, hey, go do this, and you're like, okay.
yep,
Or but then you mess up, and then you go to get, and then they chew you out, and they just rip you
Totally.
a new one. You know how to take an ass chewing.
Sector Fox
yeah.
down
Were you combat MOS as well?
Yes, I was.
Okay.
I'm in a 0311. I was at 0311, 03.
Oh, you're Marines, okay.
21. And then I switched over earlier this year. Now I'm an 11 Bravo. So I just switched to the Army.
Whoa, hold on, wait,
resources at
I'm leaving this game so I can hear you. Fucking game volume is too high. The fucking music is crushing my ears. You said you switched over, but so you must be National Guard at the moment, or?
Yes, I
Okay.
am now.
Okay, gotcha. But you were active.
I did. Yes, I did 4 years active duty Marine Corps. Did 3 tours, 1 in Iraq, 2 in Afghanistan. as,
4 years. Jesus.
My last tour,
Bro.
I volunteered.
They fucking okay. I was gonna say they ran you into the dirt, but that last one you chose. Okay. Damn,
I'm
dog.
trying-
Man, that deployment money must have been nice.
Well,
Well,
I mean,
well, it's a sacrifice for. Yeah, it's yeah. You don't have to talk about that, but.
well, I'm coming about. Thank God I did it, because all my deployment money that I was saving to buy a house with,
Right.
went to an attorney because my ex tried to keep my daughter from me, so.
Oof. Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
But, you know, law enforcement, it's one of those things, like, I fell in love with it. I didn't think I wanted to do it.
Yeah.
I kind of tossed around the idea on active duty, and then I got off active duty, wasn't working, wasn't doing anything. I was a full-time student.
Yeah.
I hated school.
Were you going for like law, like?
No, I was going for Gen Ed, like computer programming, networking.
Oh shit! Wow.
And then I finished the semester. I didn't enjoy school, so I just didn't re-up the next semester.
Right.
Buddy of mine worked at a county jail, got me a job there. I worked there for like a year, and I was like, fuck, I like this.
Were you just like a corrections officer, or?
Most sectors
Yes.
are now under
Okay.
control.
And then I was like, fuck, I like this job. This, you know, I can get into this line of work.
Sector Delta
And
has
so
lost
when I
the hostile.
decided that I would go to the academy. So 2 years later, I finally got
Allies
into the
attacking
academy.
Alpha 2.
And
Old. Yeah.
so it took me 4.5 years of corrections. And then I graduated, because my academy was a year long, because I went part-time.
Right.
And then I got hired on at the city of Pacific, which
Mhm.
was my hometown.
That's so fucking cool that you were able to get your hometown. Like,
It's a small town, so like my chief, the chief that I got hired under was my dare officer in freaking middle school. And
Wow.
his son and I got arrested. Well, we didn't get arrested. We got taken home by
Yeah.
cops when we were in high school. Like it,
Okay.
yeah. Worked there for just over 2 years. Decided I wanted to change because I went to the academy and I'm like, man, I want to work for Franklin County Sheriff's Office. I want to be a road deputy. That's what I want to do.
Yeah.
I went there under the blessing of my chief. My chief gave me letters of recommendation to the sheriff.
That's awesome.
And I got there, they're like, oh, so they didn't tell me this. This is the bullshit part. So I go interview, do everything. They're like, hey, you got a start date. We want you. I did my final interview with the sheriff, got a job offer, got everything. I'm like, all right, cool. First day of work, I show up. They're like, you're in the wrong area. I'm like, what do you mean? Like, oh no, you go work the jail. Excuse the fuck out of me. Oh, it's policy. Da 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 da. Like you'll be there after a year. You're eligible to go to the road. So I was there for a year. And then they're like, there's no openings right now. First set of openings they had, they hired 4 guys straight out of the academy. And I said, you know what? Fuck you. So
Yeah.
I went back to the city of Pacific, and I've been back here for about 2 months.
Right.
And I'm honestly quite happy. So
Yeah.
it's a great job, dude. It's a great
Yeah.
job field. It is. I wake up every day. Except when I was working corrections, I hated that shit. Some people love it. I hated
Yeah.
it. But
Yeah.
Black.
What's up?
it's one of those jobs where you wake up and you're excited to go to work every day. At least I am.
You having
Right.
trouble sleeping?
I guess I'll tell you my situation, and I kind of want like your input and like kind of like your your thought. So yeah, after high school, it was probably like 3 months after high school I left for the army. Left for 4 years. As a 0311, you probably know what a forward observer was.
Yeah.
So I was an FO for 4 years. And then, like I kind of like understand like what the shit end of the stick was. Like I became JFL certified. I worked with air traffic control. I guess I had the kind of like the mindset like I kind of get like like I don't mind kind of getting thrown down and under. Like I trying to find the right way to phrase this. Like I want to note like after getting out of the army, I want a respectful, notable career that I like to help other people, and I feel like that's kind of why I got out, because I didn't being an FO in the army, I didn't really feel like directly I could do that, so I started to go to school for firefighting.
Okay.
For my
Bless ya.
what's the degree called?
Like-
Fire science degree. And here in Oregon, almost all the guys that have been, even after getting the degree, like they're volunteer firefighters for like 5 or 6 years, and I'm like, I have to that's what I want to do, but I got to make a living,
Right. Well,
and law enforcement's always been on my mind as well, and I see my buddies that have also gotten out, and not to sound like an asshole, but these guys that got out that I they were privates under me, like they were kind of like goofballs and stuff, and then they're starting to pick up these positions, like corrections officers down in, like Louisiana and Tennessee and stuff, and they're starting to pick up like they're becoming police officers. I'm like, holy fuck, like is that something I should do? Like
well, yeah. I mean,
of course, but you also got to take into consideration like there's a lot of different things that come into play, like the size of the department you want to try to work at,
Yeah.
and like for me, sadly, the department I work for doesn't pay very well.
Yeah.
For this area. I mean, it pays on par a little. It's under everybody else in the county.
Yeah.
But it's almost on par. They got a great they got a good retirement system. They got other benefits that kind of change out the pay.
Right.
But it's not a big city. It's a 7,000 person city. Like I'm in the second largest county in Missouri, which is by square mileage wise. We have 928 square miles, and we have over 130,000 people.
Mm-hmm. And
that's the county.
Yeah.
But
right.
I work for a city that has 7,000.
Right.
1,000 of which of that population is actually the prison, which don't ask me why, but the prisoners count. The prisoners count as a population. We don't police them, but
so it's not a jail. It's like it's a certified prison.
Yeah, medium maximum security prison. That's in our jurisdiction. And they hold 1,000 people. But it is what it is. For the most part, I'm in Franklin County, which touches and borders St. Louis County. St. Louis City is just don't go work there. But if you go work for a larger, if you go work for St. Louis County Police and Franklin County Sheriff, they're the same exact thing, but they're just called different things. St. Louis County Police Department they're supposed to have 1,400 officers for the entire department. Franklin County Sheriff's Office, they have 300.
Wow.
Big difference.
Yeah. It's totally skewed different than where I live. My town is the town I live in is only 2,000, and then the city we live next to, which is about 5 miles away, is about 50,000. And then we have a jailhouse, and stuff there. But I guess what I was trying to try to say is if I pursued firefighting, my dream would be to be a fireman in my own local town. But it's gotten to the point when I was doing those firefighting classes, those fire science classes, fire prevention and fire investigation, for my basic level, they were kind of those guys that were in my classes were already affiliated with a department, and they had been volunteering for 3 years, and I'm bro, I don't know, it kind of just shit on my hopes and aspirations.
Well, firefighting and police, sometimes it's a lot of times those are job fields that you need to know somebody.
Yeah, and our our police department here, we got probably I would say 6 police officers, and I guess here's my saving grace. This is one thing that has kind of kept me my head in the game. I grew up in this town. I kind of know everybody, and I got to know my buddy that I was in the army with actually flew over and saw me, and we were walking through town, and one of our main buildings is the city hall, and I was like, oh, they have some cool stuff you can see on the first floor, and I hadn't been in there in years, and I was like, the normal public can walk in, so I was like, oh yeah, we'll go check it out. I'll show you, because they have some cool pictures and kind of the history on the town. And we walked in, and then I ended up meeting with it was total coincidence. I ended up meeting with he's right under the mayor. I don't know the name for it,
It's every city's different. It could be deputy mayor, it could be the city administrator.
Right. Yeah, and he saw me, and he's like, oh, what are you guys doing here? And I'm like, oh, I'm just showing my buddy the history of the town. I grew up here, and I kind of want to let him know, because I love where I live, and I want to be able to express my or not express my feelings, but kind of show just the history of the town. He's like, oh, you grew up here? And then I'm like, yeah. And then I told him the people that I know that I grew up with, and he's like, oh yeah, your family's been here a long time. I know all of them. And he's like, so what are you doing right now? And I'm like, well, I'm recently I was going to school for firefighting, and I kind of like I kind of told him what I just told you. I've been kind of discouraged and stuff, and he told me that he hangs out with the fire chief and the chief of police basically every day, and he would put in a good word for me, and he gave me his number, and he said, let me know when you're ready to, go for it. And like he's like, yeah, the pay's not great, but if you want to get a position here, we'd get you in. You probably want to be paid off the get-go, but
Hey, Greg,
I don't know.
wanna fly?
I guess it would get my foot in the door, but
No, I'm not good at all because I didn't set up my bindings, my controls.
But yeah, I have no family that's law enforcement. All my family's military.
Oh,
shit.
Switch to driver.
Shit.
There you go. Thank you.
No, law enforcement's different, and then working, I will tell you this from experience, working in your hometown you're gonna run into a lot of situations where you know things about people that
You don't want to know about.
yeah.
It's like cutting ties almost.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
I'm friends with a lot of people in my hometown. I know a lot of people, and a lot of people know who
Yeah.
I am, and they're like, hey man, just cut me a break. I'm like, dude, fuck you, that's heroin.
Yeah. And
You know,
what you're talking about, that you said it was like 7,000 or 8,000?
yeah,
Yeah.
sometimes-
And that in my town's only 225. Like I pretty much know.
What's our current status?
Like every day I see someone I know that I'm not even like affiliated with. Like I don't have their number or anything, but I just know them. Like I know their names.
Yeah,
And
there's people that you know them.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people in my town. It's like 70,000.
70,000.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
But it's like, it's one of those things. It's like, law enforcement kind of when you go into that first responder field,
Right.
you will tend to gravitate and hang out with other first responders, like
Right.
in real life,
Yeah.
as your personal friends. It just
Yeah.
kind of happens because your regular Joe Schmuckatelli friends who don't work in that kind of work won't understand your conversations anymore. So you kind of will naturally gravitate to people who do understand that.
Yeah.
But it's it takes a special kind of officer to work their hometown, especially something that small.
Totally.
That
Yeah. I don't know if this is
you
a cliche thing to say. Like like people that are planning to go to the military, or like if someone's like, oh, I would go to the military, but I'd punch my drill sergeant in the face. Like like people say that, or
Yeah.
I punch my.
Okay,
I
you're
feel
a
like
douchebag,
me.
That's what. You know?
Like, I don't know if this like directly correlates, but like I feel like if I became a police officer, I always try to like, I have like kind of a stigma. Like I like to try to be friends with everyone, and I feel like I would have a hard time I would have a hard time I try to be since I try to be friends with people, even though I knew they did something wrong. Like I feel like I would have a hard time
You have
giving
to-
giving someone a ticket. Like I always
Our troops now control Echo
give
Sector.
people the benefit of the doubt, like
We're losing resources.
especially like me in the
So,
army. Like when I had privates
there's a
under me,
beautiful thing in
I
law
always
enforcement. It's called officer discretion.
right.
Now, that can get you in trouble if you start to show a pattern of bias, meaning like,
Right.
are you letting all the females go? Are you only letting people go who you know?
Right.
Stuff like that. But it's what I do.
Yeah, judicially yeah.
I look like my thing. Like I pull over. I might on a hardcore night. I'll do 30 traffic stops.
Holy cow.
And I'll write maybe one ticket.
Wow.
Now, it's because my main thing, like the thing that like law enforcement has different avenues you can go into, just like the military. You know, you have the rifle, you have the machine gunners, you have the mortarmen, that kind of concept.
Right.
Me, I love getting drugs in drunks. That is my thing. I love doing that. I am on the hunt. It's a game to me. Yeah, I answer. I go to the calls that I have to respond to. Like I had 2 domestics tonight and a burglary in progress, which was not a burglary in progress. The old lady was just crazy, but whatever.
Right.
But when I'm not on calls, I'm watching a stop sign. I'm looking for speeders because I'm looking for the drugs and the drunks. Because the shitheads who are going to be hot, they're going to be speeding. Now, if I catch somebody who's speeding, I look at the situation like, would I personally be speeding in that situation? Yeah, I would. All right. Yeah. It also depends. Like, sorry, bro, you're doing 25 over. Screw you. But then also in the state of Missouri, there's also laws that if I do a traffic stop and you are not able to produce insurance upon request, I am mandated by Missouri state law to issue a ticket. I have to.
Right.
But now, do I have to write you a ticket for the reason I stopped you for speeding? Absolutely not. I can give you a warning. Or I can be like, hey, you weren't wearing a seatbelt, were you? No, I was wearing a seatbelt. No, you weren't wearing a seatbelt. Well, no, you weren't wearing a seatbelt, were you? No, sir, I wasn't wearing a seatbelt. Oh, I'm sorry. Here, you just get a $10 seatbelt ticket. I hate writing the Joe Schmuckatelli everyday business guy a ticket. I hate doing that. Right. Sometimes they deserve a ticket because I have other things that I, that kind of affect me. Like, hey, you are doing 15 over by the city park on a Saturday morning with kids on the sidewalk. Fuck you, bro.
Right.
So it's one of those things. Now you're gonna run into those situations where you literally, not to say save face with people you know or be friendly, because I'm really friendly. Everybody likes talking to me.
Right.
But if you go to a domestic and old boy smacked his wife around, you just, you know what? Hey, by state law, I have to arrest you. There's injuries. I can see them. Sorry.
Absolutely.
You made your own bet.
Yeah.
Other times you could be like, hey, you guys are just arguing. Hey, man, just go find a different place to stay for the night, and let's just call it a night.
Totally.
But then you learn, you do learn different things. Like, I'm a huge fan of verbal judo, which is, it's called the gentle art of persuasion. Meaning, if you're yelling at me, screaming at me, I take your words and I take your power from you by, oh, you're a fucking pig. Hey, well, thank you. I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
It's deflecting the negative energy and then it's like, I don't care if you're motherfucking me up and down. I don't give a shit. If you were following my instructions and doing what I want you to do and where everybody's being safe, you can call me whatever you want. I don't care. They're just words. But
I think not a lot of people understand the social aspect of the importance of law enforcement. Like it, even a brand new. I feel like obviously I can't speak because I'm not, I'm not in law enforcement. But I feel like the social aspect of being able to speak to someone correctly and be able to like obviously you don't want to be that asshole that tries to like feed information like I know there's some greasy police officers that try to get people to say shit that but I feel like overall the social aspect is super important. Communication is so key to because things can get taken out of context, and I feel like oh
yeah,
I feel like
tonight this happened. So my supervisor did a traffic stop, and this was like a 1:30 in the morning, where the driver of the vehicle had warrants, so she had to come with us. And the other 2 passengers, who were both adults and of legal driving age, neither one had a valid license or were willing to operate the vehicle to go home. So from there, is what I said is like, hey, my supervisor says, hey, just take them home, drive them, put them in your squad car, take them up the road to their house, and call it a night. I'm like, okay, cool. Well, the female passenger, everybody's African American. And then this is a big thing because I'm a white officer. I'm not racist, but it's you Ferguson, come on now. And the female was on the phone the entire time tonight, on speaker, but wasn't talking to the person. She had it on just to make sure that if something happened, and then the other male passenger in the car, he's like, hey man, I'm recording this entire thing. I'm like, you are? Dude, make sure you get my good side, bro. Like, they're like, what, you're not mad that we're recording you? I'm like, absolutely not. I prefer it. They're like, why? And I'm like, well,
I'm not doing anything wrong.
I'm not doing anything wrong. And two, tag me, Facebook, make me look good, bro. And he's like, you're really weird. And I'm like, you're really an American citizen who's doing nothing wrong, and I'm being a nice person and driving you home.
Because the media is trying to make police departments all around the United States like
the liberal media.
The media in general is sheep feeding America lies.
Yeah. Like, I have my own political views, but I can tell you right now, the media in general on both sides is it's toxic. It's toxic, and this is what I was trying to, Gravener, this is what I'm about to bring up. I don't know if it would be a bad thing or a good thing, but me, I have like a moral compass that I've always had. I don't know if it would fit well or it'd be a bad thing working for the police department.
As long as you have a positive, strong moral compass, it's not going to steer you wrong.
No.
And it's actually going to be one of those things that, like, if you witness something that a fellow officer has done that is, like, blatantly wrong, you know what? Be like, hey, bro, you made your own bed, dog. You just violated their rights, or you just excessive forced that motherfucker. Fuck you. I'm not going down for you. This is my livelihood. This is food for my kids. Food on the table for my kids.
Right.
So.
Yeah, this one thing is something that no one told me this. This is something that I just kind of thought in my own head. I'm sure other people thought the same thing, but this is kind of like the one thing that has really stuck to me that I thought myself is I think that and this will include breaking laws, but I think that everyone should do what they want to do as long as they don't affect or harm other people. And they stay in their own bounds. So like here in Oregon, yes, we they say we legalized drugs. We didn't. There's stipulations about that. So like, if you get caught with like some heroin on you, you're not going to jail for it, as long as it's for personal use. You're not going to fucking jail for it. Which honestly, it's tough, but I agree with. It's like, okay, you've decided to make those decisions. As long as you're not directly affecting or hurting someone else, you know, like drunk driving, obviously, you know, not like, yes, go to jail for that, you know.
Well, also at the same time, like here in the state of Missouri, here's the thing, like, so if I catch you and you have heroin, I'm taking you to jail, but guess what? You're out in less than an hour.
Right.
Because it's called a book and release, because I cannot hold you and no judge will issue a warrant on you because I found heroin on you, because it has to go to the crime lab and it has to be tested. So right now, at least that I'm aware of in all 50 states, that, because every state's different with their state laws,
right.
That the only drug, and I think it's a federal case law that has stated that law enforcement officers can immediately recognize and identify marijuana for what it is. Methamphetamine, I can look at that all day long and I'm that's fucking meth. But until it goes to the lab, I cannot call it meth. I can say, hey, I have a suspicion that this is methamphetamine. I am arresting you and charging you with possession of a controlled substance, and I'm taking you, I'm fingerprinting you, I'm booking you on this charge, but then I have to let you go. And they're released on what is called pending application of warrant. So it goes to the lab. The lab results come back. I read the lab results and I go, okay, this is methamphetamine. Then I type up my paperwork and I send it to the prosecuting attorney's office, and then they issue a warrant, which at that point in time, to not disrupt somebody's life, they just send them, hey, you got court, here's your court date, here's your court paperwork, this is when you go. And when they don't go to court, that's when they get issued an actual warrant.
Right.
There's very, very few cases in which you get arrested for breaking the law and you sit in jail, and those are called in custody warrants.
Right.
You break your old lady's face, I'm gonna apply for an in custody warrant. You
Yeah.
shoot somebody, I'm applying for an in custody warrant.
We've had a lot of that issues here. Our jails are so fucking full that all the minuscule and small crime, you know, or offenses, they basically just they get out and then like
Go do it
like
again.
well yeah, that happens, but they get out because our jails are very packed, and it's like, okay, you know, if you have a pretty minuscule, you know, offense, it's not worth keeping you in because we're so full. But the whole what you were saying with the whole like drug offense and like pulling you in, I think Oregon is the true exception. So the stipulation is if you get caught, let's say you get, you know, a homeless guy has some fucking and they have the amounts that are listed because this law passed last year, so like it's like, you know, like 1.5 grams of coke, fucking, well, weed's not even an issue because weed's legal here, like methamphetamine, heroin, even if you have a small amount. What the whole stipulation was is if you get caught with small possession use, you don't actually go to jail for it. What happens is you have a choice of you get either I think it's like $150 or $200 fine. It's like a misdemeanor. They confiscate your you know, the
Stash.
yeah, confiscate the small stash. If it's more than, you know, that, then yeah, you'd probably go in for a little bit. But, you know, if it's small personal use, they confiscate it. You either get a ticket and then you either appear court or pay the fine, or you have an option to go to rehab, which is funded by our marijuana tax money, which is like, it's like billions, like over $1 billion. Like the state, the tax money that we get from marijuana is fucking massive, and it goes to schools. And with this new program that they brought out is rehab for people getting caught with drugs. So you have an option. You could either pay a fine, you give up whatever you have on you, or you go to rehab that's funded by the marijuana tax money, which honestly I think is kind of cool. Not a lot of people agreed with it. Well, I shouldn't say not a lot of people because it passed. You know.
Well, no, I mean that's a good thing. Like, we have drug court. I agree, people need to get help, but at the same time, you also got to look at some of the other situations that these people have done. Like, people who are meth addicts or heroin addicts is what they do. They do a lot of stealing. They do a lot of breaking in. You don't have.
Agreed.
You don't have your general, like, you know, hey, that's a school teacher. He's, you know, he's doing heroin, and he's been doing heroin for years.
Totally. These people have a lot more issues, like mental, fucking, like they're all fucked up.
Right, and it's just, but like, I have a problem with people who are like, oh, well, I was gonna go to court, but I just forgot. Well, for your parking ticket? Fuck off, bro. Like, I don't care, man. Like, I'm not to be a dick, but if I have to get my car legal and pay the money, so can you.
Yeah.
I mean, generally, I don't write tickets for that shit, but it is, you know. But
yeah.
But then when but how I get my tickets, if I get drugs out of your car, I have to write what's called probable cause tickets. What is my reason for the stop? Why did I search that vehicle and get heroin out of it? How did I come into contact with this?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they ran a stop sign. Their license plate light is out. They have a brake light out. They were speeding. All of those all together.
For the most, when you ask if you like when I know it's a common question, like do I permission to search a vehicle? When you ask that, like what would you say is like the percentage of people agreeing to search?
If I really wanted to get into a car, I can get into any car legally.
Right.
And it's how I word it, because I'm a people person and I can talk. I can, like, my go-to line. This is what I do. It's like, hey, so how you guys doing tonight? Oh, you doing good? Where you guys heading? Because I can legally ask where you're heading, and you kind of need to tell me. Oh, you don't have to, but it's, you know, general conversation. Nobody really wants to be rude, even especially the crappy people who are doing nothing good. But it's like, oh, hey, where you guys heading? Oh, you're heading to Joe's house? Well, where's Joe's house at? Hey, do you have, you know, and immediately ask them another question. Like, I keep them on their toes, keep them on their heels.
Right.
Like, hey, so do you have anything, and I always say it in a funny way, hey, do you have anything in the vehicle I need to be concerned about? You know, knives, guns, drugs, nuclear weapon systems, dead hookers, anything like that? And they're like, no, man, we ain't got none in the car. You don't have anything, so you don't mind if I take a look around? And they're like, you know, so they're like, oh, but there's nothing in the car that you need to be worried about, but I'm telling you no, so now you're gonna think there's something in the car. And it's how I get into the car, you know? And there's a lot of ways
do you feel obligated to try to like
get
like,
into a car?
I guess like
No, it's like, so I kind of go off of vibe. If I catch the vibe,
do you feel like if they're kind of sketchy, like you're kind of like, okay, you kind of have a feeling you'll find something?
Yeah, and then I've been wrong more often than not.
Right.
But I still listen to my vibe, and I'm like, hey, you know, hey, I appreciate your time. So, hey, just for your cooperation, you know, I'm going to give you a warning tonight. Just make sure we stop the vehicle at these stop signs. You know, your safety and the motoring public safety is really important to me. So let's just make sure we stop at the stop signs and slow down.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And then they're like, wait, what? You know, it's because how are you going to argue with somebody when you, like,
totally.
When even if you give them a ticket, you're like, you know, hey, sir, here's your court date. This is all the information. And just remember, your safety is important to us here in the city of Pacific. How are you going to argue with that?
Yeah, that would be my hard part. Being like going in law enforcement, like I get like secondhand. Like it's not obviously it's not embarrassment. It's secondhand. I don't like giving people hard times, and it's like so like even if someone seems sketchy, I'd kind of like I don't know. I don't like to make people upset, and so I guess like I don't know if that would fit for me. You know, like.
Well, I love getting drugged. I hate drugs, and here's my main thing. I used to live in the city of Pacific. I grew up there, but I don't live there anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I had a divorce earlier this year, and so I moved out. But is what I would do. I lived close enough to the park where I would walk with my kids to the park. And when I find syringes and loaded needles in the grass on the way to the park, I have a fucking problem.
Yeah.
Or when I see a shithead.
We see that. Yeah.
Or when I see needles or paraphernalia at the park on the playground where my kids are gonna play. Yeah. Pot, weed, I don't care. Methamphetamine, sorry, you're getting arrested because it's a felony arrest and it looks good on my record. I don't. Now, do I try to push shit? If you're like, you know, if I do a consensual stop with somebody, like if they're a pedestrian, and I'm like, hey guys, how you guys doing tonight? Da 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 da. And they're like, you know what? Go fuck yourself. Okay, well have a good night. Be safe. You know, and it's just, there's nothing wrong with getting drugs from people, but you also got to follow your state law and what the main citizens, not the main citizens, but the overall general populace has kind of said, hey, this is illegal, this is fine. But then you can also take into consideration, like I've done it where I've gotten syringes off people, and I'm like, and I look at them and I'm like, hey bro, I'm cutting you some slack tonight. I don't want to find this shit on you ever again.
Have you ever been poked?
No.
That's good.
No. But I've had close calls with people, and they're like, oh no, I don't have anything in my purse. I'm like, there's nothing in your purse that's going to poke me, stab me, cut me at all. And they're like, oh no, absolutely not. And I'm like, you know I'm going to look in your fucking purse and search through it, but you tell me no, and I'm like, okay. And I go through it, and they have like 9 syringes uncapped, loaded. Yeah. We got problems, yo.
That's the hard part, man. Fucking, and it's like, everything's recorded, and you know the military, especially you being in the Marines. It's like when someone lies to you, like you could definitely wring someone's fucking neck, and it's kind of like, being combat MLS, you know, shit stays kind of undercover. Like, someone fucking lies to you, you can kind of fucking, you can get a hold of them, ring them around a little bit. If that shit happens in, you know, eyesight of civilians, that's your fucking career. Like, you're done.
Well, first of all, you can't. It's illegal to wring somebody's neck.
Right. What I'm trying to, you know damn well, in the military, you have a new private that fucking up whatever, or tries to fucking backtalk or whatever. You can grab a hold of them. Like,
Yeah.
if it's especially in the you know, in the barracks, that fucking, you know, if you have a fucking shitty private that comes in, fucking, he's a fucking Blue Falcon fucking asshole. Like, you know damn well he's gonna get fucking manhandled. But imagine like having a civilian that's just a fucking asshole. That's like, oh yeah, fuck pigs, and he's being a total fucking, you know, you put one fucking finger on him that's slightly aggressive in a certain way, you're done. Like, that could be your career. Like,
but it's how you do it.
Right.
And it's how and how this is so bad how I explain
words can make you do that. That's the thing, and that's what can crush you.
Well,
like, they can not do it,
have,
and they could just use their words.
Right, but this is gonna make me sound like a dirty cop, and I swear I'm not. But it's how you word it in your report.
Right.
Now, I'm very fair and I'm very honest. I'm on my way, Val. I got you. Nope. Well, never mind. I died. So I've been in situations where I've been injured on duty.
Right.
From people, and my supervisor is like, "Why aren't you charging him with this?" And I'm like, "Well, this is why. It was an unintentional injury. He did not intend to injure me." And he goes, "Well, you still got hurt." I'm like, "Yeah, but it wasn't intentional."
Exactly.
Now, but it's just there's all kinds of different stipulations. But like for example, the other day I got this chick spit in my face.
Yeah.
And the only thing I did, because I was on her left side and she was handcuffed behind the back, I can't do anything to her. I took her and I'm holding her left elbow and escorting her to my car. And I kind of just not shove. I'm still holding it, and I kind of push her towards the car, and I use my left hand and I push her face onto the car so she doesn't spit on me again.
Right.
And then I start yelling at her and giving her directives. And she goes, "I didn't spit on you. I didn't spit on you." I'm like, "Really? Then why am I wearing a loogie on my face?"
Yeah.
So anyway.
Yeah.
But
You're held to a different standard. Yeah. It's.
Yeah, and I am held, but I believe that law enforcement should be held to a different standard. They should be held to an extremely higher standard.
Right.
But
Dealing with civilians is a lot different than dealing with other people that are, like, what I was comparing to is other people in the military. Like, imagine if I would imagine you did 4 years. You probably got out as a corporal or lance corporal.
Sergeant.
E4. Okay, E5. Okay. You know, I got out as E4. You know, so you have a couple guys under you, right?
Uh-huh.
Like, imagine if you're at the barracks, you're doing a fucking room inspection or something, and one of your privates spit on your fucking face. Like, chances are, as long as you don't fucking put marks on him, you could fucking manhandle that guy and probably get away with it and be fine. Like,
well, that's, but see,
at least
that's
for
also
us.
where, like, I don't know. It must be the way I grew up. Okay, this is getting a serious conversation. I gotta exit the game.
Yeah,
so this is where I'm different. I honestly never agree with putting hands on people. It's just my thing. I never put hands on my boots. I had hands put on me when I was active duty, but I never agreed with it.
Same.
I just took it.
Same.
But I never put my hand. I always wanted to be the leader that when you fucked up.
I appreciate that. Yeah, that's fucking badass.
When I wanted to be the leader that when you fucked up, I would, okay, dude, you fucked up. You disappointed me. I tried to be that father role where you're like, oh fuck, man, I just let him down. You know. But then there's also those shitbags that just no matter what you do, no matter how good you are, no matter how much awesome of a leader you are, they're just a shitbag.
Yeah.
Now.
They think they're better than everyone else, and it's like.
fast forward to, like, law enforcement. Like, there's people that, like, you're arresting them, and they're like, you know what, fuck you, you're a piece of shit, whatever, or they don't even want to talk to you, and you try to, like, ask them questions, like, basic booking questions, so you can do your job, like, hey, man, what's your address? Fuck you, I ain't telling you. Okay, well, guess what? You're going to sit in this room until you tell me, because it's part of the booking process, and I cannot put you in general population without knowing this information. And guess what? Your time for being here, because this is a traffic warrant or whatever, guess what? That doesn't start until the booking process is completed. So if you want to sit here for 5 days, by all means, please do. Then you just walk away. They're handcuffed to a bench, and they just sit there in the cold. Not cold, but it's, you know, a metal bench on a brick wall. You know how, you know, ambient temperature, it's chilly. And you're like, okay, cool. And you're like, all right, you're not gonna ruin my day. It's just you're just not gonna. I might it. So I got brought up in law enforcement in the corrections field first, which I learned to talk to people because I was in a unit, locked inside of a unit with 40 dudes by myself.
I heard those are some fucking slick dudes too. Like,
oh yeah, they're sometimes like, and here's the thing I always said to people.
They're manipulative.
Yeah.
That's what I've heard.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I've heard. My buddy is in the corrections, and he said those fuckers are sly.
Oh yeah, but my whole thing I would always tell the guy, whoever I was watching for the day, I'm like, all right guys, this is it. Don't make me work. I don't be in my shit. I'm not going to be in your shit. Give me the respect as a human being and with my job, and don't do stupid shit in front of me. And I look, guys, I'm not going to go looking for it.
Yeah.
But if I happen to see it, guess what? Game just got caught. All right. I mean, it is what it is. It's a cat and mouse game. Just don't do it blatantly in front of me, and I have no problem looking away. And I'm like, don't beat each other up. Don't do that stupid shit. Save that for somebody else. And most of the time they were really receptive to, like, oh wow, he's not gonna, like, oh my god, I have a letter on my wall from my girlfriend. He's not gonna come rip it up because it's on the wall and it's not supposed to be. I just be like, hey man, you know you're not supposed to have stuff on the walls. Just please take it down. I don't want to mess up. That's family stuff, dude. That's a good way for me to get stabbed in the face. I'm not gonna fuck with your family photos. But you know you can't have it on the wall. Just respect me and just take it down, at least for now. Please and thanks.
Sounds fair.
It's just how you word stuff. Now, when you go to the street...
So I was saying earlier, communication is so important for social. Yeah.
Well, I've been called a pussy before by guys I work with. They're like, oh, you don't want to get in fights and this and that. I'm like, okay, first of all, why do I want to get in a fight with a citizen whom I can turn around and get fucking sued over? I can lose my job over because of my ego? I'm not gonna lose my job because of my ego. Now, if I can, and I've actually been called a nice person, and it's really funny because it used to be that, like, if I have a use of force, it was never questioned by my department. If I had to fill out a use of force paperwork, my chief wouldn't even read the report. He goes, you had a use of force? Okay, fucker probably deserved it.
Yeah.
Like he's like, well, that was probably justified. Because I just have my uses of forces are so rare, and then when they do happen, they're so justified.
Right.
And I have a level of restraint because I don't want to get in trouble. I'm not afraid to act, but I'm not afraid to haze anybody. I'll pepper spray the ever living shit out of people all day long. I don't give a fuck. I love me some pepper spray. Because that shit, I'm immune to it. It does not affect me at all.
Yeah.
You can spray me in the face, you can pour that shit in my eyeballs, and I go, give me some more.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really funny at the academy. My instructors were like, what the fuck?
Yeah. That's how it was. Well, it's totally different. The gas chamber, but
I love it. I love it.
I have a video of it because they recorded us walking out. Fucking going out of the gas chamber, I was the only one with a smile on my face. I'm like, hi, Mom. And I've been a huge, like, spicy food eater my entire life, and everyone always asks me, like, because sometimes, like, we'd go to the dining facility, DFAC for us, but chow hall, you know, I don't know what you guys call it, but you'd have, like, the guys that are in different, like, earlier phases that haven't hit the gas chamber yet, and they'd be like, oh my god, how is it? Like, I'm so nervous, and I'm like, the way I'd always explain it, I'm like, you ever eat spicy food? And they're like, yeah, I've eaten spicy food. It's like, yeah, it's kind of just like eating spicy food with your whole body. like, that's pretty much what it is. Like, and your insides. But overall, like I knew it was kind of, I knew it was gonna. I don't know. Did you guys wear Seaburn gear when you first initially walked in, or for your?
That's cute. You think the Marine Corps has Seaburn gear?
You guys can't afford that. Yeah.
We have it, but God no. The Marine Corps always did the gas chamber with just the mask.
I mean, to be fair, the Seaburn gear doesn't actually
work.
Well, no, it works, but it just goes over your body. We pull the mask off just like everyone else. Like, when you pull the mask off, it's literally doing the Seaburn gear is for different type of chemicals. It's not like, you know, those pucks are gonna, you know, it's the same shit. Like whether or not, you know, you know what I mean. Like Seaburn gear is not gonna make a difference, either where you're wearing normal fucking uniform or for that type of chemical. But no, I could tell it was gonna, like, you know, be a little spicy when I you know, you walk in and before you take your mask off and you go into, like, because we had like a cold spot and then a cold room, hot room. The cold room was like kind of like small, you know, a little bit of gas, and then the hot room was like the full gas. And I was the last group to go too, so it got pretty cooking in there. But the when you get to the hot room, you could feel it burning your exposed, like you could feel it kind of tingle your your body's parts that are exposed. I'm like, well, I'm gonna feel this. And then I took off my mask and everyone was like dying. I'm like, oh my god. I was so like, I was that was what I was dreading the most, and I was so happy because I'm like, I took off my mask and I'm like, yeah, it sucks. You know, it's not great, but I'm like, oh, it's not as bad as I thought.
Hey, be safe, buddy.
Okay, talk to you later, guys.
Thanks. Good gaming, buddy.
Cheers.
I'm like, it's not as bad as I thought.
Well, everybody's affected by stuff different. Like for me, like you pull out a taser, dude, I will murder my family for you.
I do not like getting shocked.
Nope.
I've been shocked a few times doing I started doing, after I got out of the army, I've been doing construction, and when we're doing our demos, sometimes the outlets fucking get me, and it's like I just don't, I don't know, I just don't like getting fucking shocked. I guess like it's like getting stung by like getting stung sucks. Like, I don't know. I fucking getting shocked just fucking skeeves me out.